Hi friends, let's start today's analysis. So before we start digging into the Indian markets, we'll do a slight dissection of what is happening globally because now this is very important. Trump taking chair will always be filled with news, and probably we have to keep on dissecting and bisecting these news on a daily basis. So first thing which we are hearing now is that uh, China is thinking of buying directly oil and gas from US. Why they are doing so? Because this will reduce the trade deficit directly. As of now, China is buying a lot of oil and gas from Russia, or they're getting a lot of oil and gas from Saudi Arabia. So they also want to introduce this third partner in terms of US, which will reduce the trade deficit between China and US, which is a major concern of US that there's a trade deficit and a lot of tariffs are there on the US exports rather than on Chinese imports. So this is one thing which is happening. Second is that US is thinking to force China to get into a plaza contract kind of a thing, which they have with Japan. So what is this agreement? This agreement was done with George Bush, senior of president of US and then prime minister of Japan, wherein US told Japan that you will not allow your currency to weaken beyond a limit, otherwise you're getting a trade advantage. The similar kind of thing they want to introduce with China also, but China will be very hesitant in accepting this accord because their majorly income is coming from the export, they're export driven country, and to remain competitive in the global environment, they generally want to devaluate their currency. So I don't think they will be accepting this particular condition of US. But what we are listening is that instead of this, they'll be offering some more conditions, or let's say some more conditions or some more favorable things to US instead of this accepting this accord. That's one part. Second part is yesterday we got a news that, in fact, today morning we got a news that Mr. Trump is now thinking of levying around 10% sanctions on Chinese imports. So originally in his election campaign, he has been talking about 60% sanctions. Now he is thinking of putting 10% sanctions. So already it is very diluted. That also he has not signed the order. He's still contemplating, and probably will be hearing some news on 1st February. So it's a very diluted form of sanctioning. I think the intention is, which we were discussing yesterday also, intention is majorly to struck a deal with China and let them accept some deals of US so that the trade deficit is reduced and they also earn a lot from their exports, which at present US is not able to do it. So this is another part. Third is that even Canada and Mexico, they want to strike a deal with the US. There was a NAFTA accord which was signed between I think Donald Trump only I think 5 years, 6 years back with Mexico, Canada, and Japan. There was a tri-party agreement which was done that a lot of manufacturing hub of automobile will be created in Canada and Mexico. This is to suit their automobile manufacturing industry of US. But now, what Trump is telling is that you've struck off this manufacturing hub of yours, and he wants to bring the entire manufacturing things to US. So that will create a lot of problem to Canada and Mexico because a lot of income is generated because of these ancillary component with this manufacturing is happening in these countries. So that's another part. So I think that negotiation is still going on. I think that also, at least Canada and Mexico are very eager to struck a deal with US on that. So that's another part. Rest is all political, so I'll not discuss much about that because that's not hitting our stock market. But let's come to the broader things. So the dollar index has cooled off today to 107.8. That's another good news. And we were continuously discussing ki if at all sanctions will not be there, if at all the rhetoric that Trump has told during his election campaign, if he's slow on that implementation or if he's not implementing it, we will see that the dollar index will top out. So dollar index has done a top of around 110.2 something last week. I think there are full chances that it will top out. Reason is that he is also trying to reduce the oil prices in whatever form he want to do it by increasing production and all those things. And he also directly challenge Saudi Arabia for the monopoly. So those all things will keep the Chinese, probably the oil prices also down, and probably it will help in inflation as well. So dollar index is reduced, and similarly the bond yields also came down. Bond yields today was hovering around 4.5 to 4.53 levels. so which is less than 4.9 approximately, the peak bond yield we saw last to last week. So all these are topping out, and this is again good news for emerging markets because that will allow the FIAs to have a leg room to enter into the Indian markets. We discussed, I think, 1 week before or last to last training session that if US has to enter into Indian markets, they should enter at the weakening rupee because now, if any strengthening happens to the rupee, it will only be an advantage to the US because the portfolio will look much more better when the rupee is strengthening and dollar is weakening. So that is the right time for US FIAs to enter into Indian market. That's another news. Now let's come to our markets. What is happening? So in our markets, if we see today again, Nifty was opening in green because we had a good session from US yesterday. US, we had a tremendous session. There are two reasons for it. One is Mr. Trump has signed a lot of orders which he promised during his election that he'll be reducing the deadlocks, bureaucracy deadlocks for the functioning of the companies. So that he has started doing. In fact, he has signed some 40 orders on that. So which is again bringing some profit advantage to the companies, and the market is reacting to it. Also, post market hours, we got Netflix earnings, and if the stock, whatever is trading after hours, if it happens during the real market session of US today, then that will be an all-time high for Netflix. Netflix has given stupendous results. I think the profits are at all-time high. That is again good news for US and US tech companies. So that's how the session went well yesterday for US, and today the global markets, including Asia, was reacting on that. So we also opened gap up. But now today, what happened in the entire session? See, what I could see was there was again a very calibrated and a proper index management. How? So if you see during the entire trading session, Nifty was hardly giving up any of his gains. In fact, it was a negative, then it was again positive, negative, positive. It kept on happening. But Nifty range was less. Moreover, he did not want to give up his levels of yesterday's lows. But if you see Bank Nifty was very close to its last Monday's lows or January series lows because FIS wanted the stop loss of Bank Nifty also to be hit, which many people are keeping. And secondly, they were short on the Bank Nifty on those levels, and they want those levels to cover their shorts. This is what they do. This is what they do in terms of index management. They were beautifully doing it until unless we got the result from HDFC Bank. So that changed the entire scenario, and we at around 500 points down at one point of time in Bank Nifty, we could recover the losses entirely, and probably we were trading around 200 points up at one point of time in Bank Nifty. So that was a game changer, and they could not fulfill their this index management part of Bank Nifty. Whether they have covered all their shorts, we don't know. Tomorrow we'll see the data. Whether one more capitulation in Bank Nifty is due, I think so. It might happen because, and they will take any reason. So probably HDFC Bank, the final details or the granular details will still to come. If they will find something not good in that, again they will break the Bank Nifty tomorrow. Or they can take advantage of IndusInd Bank results, or probably SBI or PNB or something. But they might do one capitulation to hit the stop losses or to take levels below the lows of the January series. If not, I think there will be a massive short covering, and probably the Bank Nifty and Nifty should shoot up from here. Yesterday also we discussed that these are good buying levels. You should buy. The advantage now we're getting in terms of buys because of all those things in terms of global parameters like dollar index loosening up. There is also very lot of clarity now from US. See, what is Trump trying to do? He is only calibrating his moves. He is not in a hurry to implement whatever he has told in election rally in a hurry. And there's a softening ground. I mean, there's a difference between what he has been telling and what he is trying to implement on the ground. And I don't think that there will be huge sanctions coming up. See, one more thing is Trump also wants a weakening dollar. It is advantage for them for two reasons. One is he wants the interest rates to cut so that there's a lesser cost on credit and he can take the economy forwards. Second is, see, every year US has to give around $1.2 trillion in the form of interest to the government because they've been taking huge money from the government, you know. So for that also they want the interest rates to bring down, and for that they have to weaken their dollar. So Trump would also not want the dollar to go up. So considering all the point, according to me, and seeing the scenario and just joining the dots, I think dollar ka top out to ho gaya. I think dollar is topped out. We'll not see levels crossing now 110 kind of dollar indices very soon. We might even hit on the lower end 105 as well. That we have to wait and see because the inflation number was good at this time, which came, it was around 3.3%, and the core CPI was actually lesser than expected. So inflation is going down. Dollar, if the market anticipates that there will not be any huge impact due to sanctions, then dollar index will top out. So in those terms, also it's a good news. Results from HDFC Bank were pretty decent. I think they have beaten the street estimates in terms of profit and all. That is again a good thing. We have to see how the final print is. Just now we saw the results of HUL. I think excellent results. 3,000 crores profit, again the expectation of around 2,600 crores. It's a big beat. You have to see whether there's a one-time profit in this or not. You have to see the final details, but on the face of it, the results are looking very good for HUL as well. So if the results start looking, at least for the nifty companies or the bigger companies, see Reliance also posted a good set of numbers. Kotak Mahindra Banks posted a good set of numbers. We're expecting PSU banks to give a good set of numbers. So if FMCG also starts pitching in with good set of numbers, and IT anyways are given decent set of numbers, so I mean then probably that very big worrying factor will start eroding away. And we are on the budget corner today. Also, we was hearing a news from the sources that government is not thinking of increasing or tinkering any taxes on the capital market gains as such. So there was a worry in the market from last 2-3 days that, or there was a new rumors in the market that government is thinking of uh, increasing, or let's say they call the term as rationalizing the taxes on capital gains. But I think that is not happening. That's again a good news for the markets. So market was nervous because of that, but I think as the sources are telling, the government is not mulling on these front as well. So that's again a good news. We are not seeing good results from broader market companies. Like we saw the result from India Mart, not good. Zomato, not good. Dixon, we saw that. Anyway, Dixon numbers were good according to me. I don't know why that stock was punished. Probably because of high PI, just high P number. Then we got the results from today Polycab. That was also not looking good. So I think there is a problem where the stocks are trading at very high P multiples, and there are even a slight miss. The market is punishing them very very badly and very brutally. So mid cap ke andar, I still feel it will the capitulation still continue. But on the broader indexes, in terms of big nifty companies, I think probably we are still near. That's what I told yesterday also, that where we are very near to the bottom. I still maintain those stands. Considering now all the global and the domestic factors, and again, see, let's not forget these numbers are being reported for a GDP number which is much slower. Now the GDP has again picked up. The government expenses are picked up, and probably our finance minister, Mr. Sitaraman, has taken very strong cognizance from the industry of the slowing economy, slowing consumption, especially urban consumption. So we are very hopeful, and there are high chances that we'll get some tax cuts in terms of personal taxes, which is there. So that is again a good news, and probably we'll see a RBI rate cut also when they meet on 7th February. So considering all these factors, and one more thing, the FIIs are short by 3,30,000 contracts, which is a huge short, and there are hardly any long positions. So market is very light in terms of long positions, and they're very high on shorts. I think these all shorts will be reversed before the budget. I don't think they will carry this kind of a massive shorts while going to the budget, considering that whatever Trump is told during the election campaign, that is either played out or playing out in favor of India. See, he has mentioned in terms of sanctions on Canada, Mexico, today China, but there is no mention of India on that. And one more news came that Mr. Modi, our Prime Minister, is deeply thinking on offering from his end wherever they want to have reduced tariffs in terms of imports. They told we are ready for it. We want to strike a deal with you, and we are not in a fighting mode with you. So that's again a very good news on that front as well. So considering all these things putting together, I think the February series should be very good. January series also we are expecting some short covering. It can happen anytime. If HDFC Bank, if the final prints are good, I think we might see short covering today, tomorrow, who knows. Tomorrow again there's a Nifty expiry. But be careful guys on the expiry nowadays. See, yesterday was Sensex expiry, and we discussed in yesterday's video also how both sides stop losses were hit. So be careful tomorrow. Tomorrow again a Nifty expiry and anything can happen. These guys are short. FIs are very highly short. And if they find any reason of punishing, they will punish the people both sides. So just be careful. According to me, they should cover the shorts, and tomorrow is a good day for covering the shorts. If HUL numbers are good, if there's not a one-time profit from here and there, if this is pure organic profit growth, I think market will give a thumbs up to it. And if the final prints of HDFC Bank are also good in that way, I think then we'll see tomorrow a big short covering in terms of Nifty and Bank Nifty both. Bank Nifty में थोड़े shorts कम है, but Nifty we have huge shorts. That will be a very good news going forward for tomorrow. So, and I have some more points, but I think the video is still longer and I'll not like to continue because then it becomes too much of data. And overall, I would say that yes, again, I would repeat the market is very close to bottom. We should take advantage in terms of buying these levels. Yesterday also I told you to buy Bank Nifty ETF. And I told that today if you get a dip in Bank Nifty ETF, go for it. Nifty ETF also I have told. Broader index, I still think there is some froth, but that's fine, and the froth will be removed as soon as the results are coming. So that was the analysis for today, and I hope you liked it. Thank you so much.